Alrighty, welcome back to The Devil in Detail, the Grendel Reread podcast. I'm Eli.
And I'm Ben, and we're back with our 108th episode where we're
Woo!
going to explore Matt's one of many magnum opus, Devil Quest, the collected backup stories. Wowie, wow. You got the
Wow.
hardcover, Eli?
Oh, I got the hardcover and the softback, of course. You gotta collect them all.
Eli, what have you been up to in our short break since we've done
Yes.
past Prime?
Just been, Cosmic Lion productioning as much as I can. Signed a new artist. His name's Morgan Heron. He's a young dude going, just starting college, a young guy who's just growing and doing some amazing stuff. You can follow him at Heron_art on Instagram. Really interesting art style, and definitely a creator who's, on the up and up and growing and creating new stuff. Another book that we're starting to publish. It's kind of crazy. The the very first book that I ever bought that was like an independent indie comic at my childhood comic book store was this piece of paper stapled together, graphic fantasy. You wouldn't really recognize it, but there's a guy in there. His name's Gary. He's from my hometown of Cumberland, Maryland. He's in the kayfabe group, and he's got a new book, and I'm publishing it. I'm psyched. It's a purely full circle moment for me. This comic sat in my little locked drawer in my desk with Blood Wolf, a Marvel comic that had another cover that I spec'd on when I was a kid, and now I have the opportunity to make something extra awesome with him. So I'm super excited to make this do this full circle thing.
So I have a follow-up question. How did you connect that this guy made that book and that book made that big of an impact on you that you're like, you're the guy who did that book? It was that moment?
Well, it was like I went back home and I was like cleaning stuff up because they were like going to sell this desk and and whatever. So I finally went into the locked drawer and took this out where it had been
your treasures
for 20 years, or whatever.
Wow.
And so I looked at it and I was just like, okay, I wonder if these guys, and I saw this one named Gary Kramer, and I was like, that's very familiar because the Kramer brothers are like a locally famous
from
Cumberland, like a rock band in town. And I was like, holy shit, I wonder if it's the same guy. And I found him on Facebook and I hit him up and he's like, yeah, dude, I'm still working on my book and still doing stuff. And I was like, have you heard of kayfabe? You should join the group. Let's keep in touch. And it just one thing led to another, and it turned to like me helping publish his book. It's so sick.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
What a great, crazy full circle experience for you, Eli.
Love it. I love it. I'm excited. So keep a look for both of those books. I think his book Paraphrenitic will be out before the end of the year, but Morgan Heron's will be out next year. What about you, Ben? What's been going on, buddy?
I'm good. I've been very busy teaching, but I'm excited to say in the podcast that my solo art show exhibition will be opening up at the record store Love Not Money in Chinatown, 42 Eldridge Street on September 1st.
That's in New York City.
If you're in New York City and you wanna see something that I never really thought would happen, come to my solo art show.
Is there an opening? Like, will you be there? Are you going to be there all day, every day? It's open, or
no? It's gonna be up for 3 months.
Whoa, dude!
And it's wild. I'm gonna hang it on Sunday, and I really never considered that this would happen, and it just sort of the universe gave back to me. That's very nice.
That's amazing, dude. I'm so excited. So yeah, I wish I could see it. I think my folks will be in New York during some of those 3 months, and I told them to go check it out.
Oh wow!
Yes, I'm excited. So is it all like
no comics? There's no comics.
Well, but I mean, like, is it work?
Cartooning.
Newer work, older work from everything above?
There's new work, there's old work. It's called Sorry for the Confusion, 20 Years in New York City is the name of my art show.
That's amazing.
So so there's gonna be like, I don't know, maybe 25 pieces hanging up, something like that.
Sweet.
And it's a very, very cool little record store. And I'm a record playing guy now. I also happen to get a record player So now I go in this little place. It's got my artwork. I have my little $3 record. Terrific.
That's amazing. Hey, Ben, I'm proud of you,
Yeah.
man.
Thank
Anyone
you.
that's in New York, if you can get a photo, please send it. Tag Ben, tag the Grandlecast. And I can't wait to share and see more of this
Thank you.
work. But before we do any of that, let's take it to the theme song.
Oh, the theme song.
Oh, yes, of course.
With the box, ready to go. Any fast, any slow. Yeah. Yeah. Vivat Granoff.
It's like the devil is my best friend. On the roads with the pen to the fork end, or till time end. Like Orion, Jupiter, my kin, bloodline private. We control the whole shit. The wolf won't beef, then we feast off the rip. Behold the devil in detail. Behold the devil in detail.
Alrighty, we are back. Thank you to Manus and Zach for the theme song. Shouts to both of them who are both doing very good in their lives. I know we haven't checked back in with them. They're both doing very, very good. So I just wanted to let you guys know.
Eli, when did you first read this book?
There's this one moment in like my comic book history. I'm so glad you asked this, Ben. I went to Chicago to visit my brother. And there was a day on that trip where him and his wife were both busy. And I just kind of like set out on travels in Chicago, trying to find every comic book store I could find. And that was when I was really getting into Grendel. And I went and literally bought every single trade I could find. And this was one of the ones I bought that day. And I read this like, I had a backpack that was so heavy, full of graphic novels and records that I was like trudging around Chicago. I walked everywhere that day. And it ended up with like a sushi dinner and a evening at the Improv Olympic with my brother, where we saw like Bobby Moynihan, and I'm sure like other comedians that became someone that I didn't know. So this was one of those ones that I remember reading, and then I took a train back to Maryland where I read this on the train, and I was just like, this is blowing my mind. Like, I've never seen a comic like this. I've never read a comic like this. And I feel like that just kept happening with Grendel. And that's one of the many things that just kept me coming back. What about you?
Nice. I think this is either the first, second, or third Grendel book I ever read. I think I had read Devil by the Deed first, and I think this is the second book I got. And it doesn't matter. This should be your first Grendel book. It's the finest looking comic book ever produced.
Yeah, it
should be your first
glorious
comic book. Yeah, it doesn't matter that you won't understand what it's about. You should experience the mixed media painting, the completely innovative visual approach in every single panel.
Yeah,
and across the stories.
Absolutely. The fearless depiction of the characters. And it's not like if you have no Grendel knowledge, you won't understand this. You'll understand like kind of the base level story.
Yeah, sure.
But you won't get the like subtext of so much, which we get all now. But like, oh my God. And again, we were saying this earlier, but it's so great to get back to a point where it's like all matte too.
Yeah.
Written, drawn, lettered, fully painted.
When was the last time we saw that? The Grendel novels in the ongoing series, the Diamond District.
Oh my gosh!
Deal, and
yes, 17 and 18. Is that what it is? 17, 18,
yeah.
19, 20, something like that.
Something like that.
Long time ago.
Yeah. Well, great.
Love it.
I've read this book like 2.5 times in the last few months.
Yeah.
And what I realized today is that the summary is really helpful. So let me read this one.
All right.
100 years have passed since Jupiter Asante I became Grendel Khan. Under the rule of his grandson, the global empire he created is on the verge of collapse, and in a mad effort to cement the balance of power, a quest has begun to locate the errant cyborg, Grendel Prime. As several extremely deadly hunters trail the warrior, it soon becomes evident that Grendel Prime is pursuing some secret objective of his own, the results of which will determine the success or failure of the perverse players' bid for the world. Wowie wow. So these were these were 14 4-page, I think, backup stories across a range of Grendel tales. Homecoming, the Paul Grist series, the first Darko Edvin one, some of that stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
But I'm not really this is sometimes where chronological and publication matching things up is
It gets
Grendel
cloudy.
heads, you'll join the conversation and tell us what's what.
Yeah, we need a definitive timeline. I know there is one in the Grendel Cycle book, but I don't believe it's
Sure.
like definitive.
Well, this takes place in 2707.
Okay.
And we may get I think the end of Devil's Reign may give us a couple of year anchor points here and there.
I'm noticing that the hardcover has a completely different write-up on the back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Most often, the lush paintings of Grendel creator Matt Wagner grace book covers only, but here, with the uncensored account of Grendel Prime's quest to contact the spirit of the original Grendel, Hunter Rose, Wagner brings his astonishing brushwork to an entire volume's worth of storytelling. So that's cool. Matt's art takes the forefront in that paragraph.
Yeah.
In 7 chapters, all written and gorgeously painted by Wagner, the deadly cyborg Grendel Prime pursues the past with singular purpose. Even while the decadent and decaying world he has forsaken hunts him for reasons of its own. With each chapter, a decidedly adult twist on the children's rhyme: rich man, poor man, beggar man, thief, doctor, lawyer, Indian chief.
What?
No, yeah, that's what it says.
That is the structure of this book.
Interesting.
What?
This tightly crafted work is an essential piece of the Grendel canon and a tie-in to Wagner's popular Batman Grendel epic. Damn. What year was your softback published? Let's get into a little minutia here. But this one was published in 2008, looks like. Grendel Quest had a 94, 95, and then 2008.
This is from 95.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, it said okay. So does yours begin with a black and white story that was probably like from like a teaser? Okay, I think this was from a like an ash can or something like that.
Oh, cool.
So it's like a 3-page advert kind of thing.
Oh wow!
And it has the thing, yeah. Rich man, poor man, beggar man, thief, doctor, lawyer, and in this one it changes it to indigenous thief. Indigenous chief instead of Indian chief. Because that is not the preferred nomenclature now, as it never truly was.
All right, so that rich man is Wyatek Jones.
Yes,
a power fuck, which is like it's
what does he call himself? A broker of vices, a vice broker. Yeah. I'm a very rich man, he starts off with. Good, but
he talks about how Orion said that Grendels can't have property, but they've found ways around that. And
right.
It was a long time ago, and fuck it. And so the stability of the empire is seriously in question, and its legacy and ideals.
Right. This is an amazing ship that lands here with the Grendel eyes. And this next page is a page that I own, actually, the original art for.
Oh, wow.
You want to take a look at
it? Yeah, we should. Absolutely.
Right. Let's do it.
I can't believe it.
All right, I have it right here. All right, so what we've got first is just the wax paper. Okay. Oh, God. Oof, I am gonna. Okay. All right. So then you pull the tracing paper back, and we have the paper, or we have the text on another separate page. that was overlaid on.
Wow.
And then we have this glorious.
Wow. So I've always wondered, Eli, are the panel borders made from pieces of tape? Like what's going on with the super crisp panel borders?
Oh, they are pasted on, Ben. And they are pieces of tape that are like outside of these pasted on board pieces. Like, can you kind of see like?
Oh, it's wow. It's all pasted up. Every
Yeah.
panel's pasted up.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Oh, I wish I could. Oh, that's
It's
really
absolutely
crazy.
glorious, man. Yeah.
That's really crazy.
I'll try to put in some close-ups here. I'm touching
It
it.
looks like it's like wrapped around the corner of like a 2 millimeter piece of
It really is. Like these, all the top panels are posted up, but the
yeah.
bottom ones are not, and there's
Oh,
just tape
interesting.
around them.
Okay. Oh, that's so crazy.
Wow, it's insane. And some of it is chalk. There is like some, or not chalk. Those pencils that Matt tells us about.
Prismacolor.
Prismacolor. Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. It's so cool to see, man.
So this looks like it's a purple piece of paper. I think. I think that's
No, I think it's a black piece of paper.
I think it's black. Yeah. Oh,
know.
wow. Wild.
I don't know. Because the back's white. And
You know,
it's like it's a very thick board for sure. It's a thick board.
So anyway, this is Wyatt Jones welcomes Minister Martin Rakeshaw straight from the imperial court to his den of vice. This is like some straight up oh god, what's
Yeah, it's so cool. It's like a domed pleasure palace.
yeah, he's got his Jaguar there and everything.
That
I love
is,
this.
I love this domed pleasure palace. I would enjoy an evening there, I'm sure. Oh shit.
Yeah. This is like uh who's the justice on the Supreme Court who's in trouble? But what's his name? Clarence Thomas.
Oh yeah, Clarence Thomas has a
Like
domed
Clarence
pleasure
Thomas,
palace like this.
like accepting this kind of treatment for whatever.
And it's funny because it's what's happening during this conversation. Like a cartoonist could go two ways. Like it could just as easily be around a conference room table or at a coffee shop or a steakhouse or something like that, as it could be at multiple sexual encounters, a hot tub, a dinner, of course, more sex.
I know you like Minister Rakeshaw's bolo tie Grendel clasp.
Of course.
That's like, oh man, that's the best part.
Just all the details that Matt adds here, like looking at that page and seeing like the airbrush, the pop of color there, and just it's so sick.
Yeah, the watercolor mixed with the acrylic mixed with the natural tone of the paper. Yeah, look at Wyatt's forehead, and I think you can see the purple paper underneath.
On page?
I don't know. What? Oh no. Oh, I like. I went on the third page. Yeah. So you said this is the first time you ever saw guys fucking
like that, and certainly in a comic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely in high school or younger when I read this. So
Rakeshaw tells him that desperately Jupiter III has sent the crazy session twins on a mission to find Prime, and immediately it's really interesting here because Past Prime comes chronologically before this, but was written afterwards. And the books are repetitive in a way. That one gives Susan, it tells a similar story that puts this focus on Susan and lets her grow. I can't stop thinking about Susan since we
I know. I wish
since we
there was
did that.
more. What happened
Yeah.
next?
I want like a old man Logan, like Susan,
Oh,
like
old lady
what does,
Varrigan.
yeah, does she stick with the paladin until her death in battle or what?
I hope so.
Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be cool. Anyways, I love this one of him pigging out on the corn.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, do you think that's corn? It's perfectly drawn. And because another thing is like there's just always dissent among the clans. The clans are never happy with their leader, and that's like what causes all the turmoil. Like no one's ever happy with who their leader is. I mean, it goes for us these days, you know.
Wyethek Jones discloses that he lent the Khan like billions of dollars to get the support of this like French clan, Force Diabolique.
Yes, which is
I think
clearly a
that.
shout out to Danger Diabolique.
Yeah,
one of Matt's
that's
favorite
awesome.
films.
Yeah, man. Yes.
That'd be cool to see some art of that clan because they must look like Danger there. That'd be sick. Continue.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna turn the page and Martin Rakeshaw goes home in his like
and he's
t-shirt. He's in
well,
like
at first
a
he's like
formal t-shirt, bolo tie, bike shorts, and
oh,
sneakers.
I see. Yes.
It's the best costume ever.
But on the way out, he's like, of course, you know, we've done all this, but no one can hear this from me. And, you know, we shouldn't even make it known that I was here. And as soon as he leaves, the first thing that he does is tell people that he was there and call
more call other mercenaries in.
Exactly. His own.
I thought, yeah, these are the Hitchcocks. I thought it was interesting that when Wyethek and Rakeshaw say goodbye, it's Grendel Mortis, Vivat Grendel. So it's this very like it's like this very dramatic rot from within, you know, imperial court drama stuff going on.
Yeah, well, okay, so Grendel Mortis is what? Death to Grendel, and Vivat Grendel is like long live Grendel.
Yeah, it's like this it's like this weird Shakespearean twist on what we've always
come to know as like
so
one's trying to actually, you know, take down what's become, and while the other one is actually like, well, no.
Okay, one of the best panels of all time, the flamingo getting shot.
Yeah,
so great. Unforgettable.
Yeah,
and what Matt does with the animals in the story is unforgettable. There's a sequence later on. Yeah, so this is Hitchcock Blue, one of 7 Hitchcock clone clan Grendel mercenaries, and they talk about the superpowers of the clones a lot.
Yes, it's an army of clone troopers, if you will. No, I'm kidding. All right, it's the infamous Hitchcock Blue. He's like, welcome, my friend. And he's just like immediately like, I'm no one's friend. Okay. No.
Yeah. This is where Hitchcock uses the term power fucks for the first time here. They say that the clones have heightened senses and are very sensitive to sound and heat and water. And like, I think he complains that it's too cold in there for him in this tropical.
Too cold, too light, too loud. He's like, would you like me to turn the waterfall off for you? He's like, no, I'm fine.
He's got a great design. He's got this very like, I don't know, goth platform shoe, skinny jean, like
almost like a Grackle Flint kind of feeling.
Yeah. It definitely mirrors that a lot. His badge is so cool. That's going to come into play later on.
Yeah, I just love the creativity and all the different Grendel logos that continue to show their face. It's glorious.
I love the simplification on the grid. Oh man, yeah, look at the way these two, the last panel and the horizontal panel, fit together with the background.
Oh yeah,
I never noticed that before. It's so dense done. It's so densely and thoughtfully done. Oh,
man, I wonder if in what?
I think you're right. This is all in black paper. You're right.
Oh yeah.
Obviously.
I wonder now if like if in the new Devil by the Deed that Matt and Brennan are working on, if we'll get Brennan working in colors that look like this feel, or I don't know. No, I feel like Brennan really has struck out on his own. He's not trying to like recreate the feel
The
of
last
early
time we
comics.
talked about it, he said that he was exploring, I think, like multiple digital mixed media approaches, I think, and that it was going to be black, white, and red, but the red was going to have a very broad range.
And the black
red,
too, yeah.
broadly defined red. Yeah,
Yeah.
and a lot of grays too. So it's gonna
Gosh, I can't wait for that.
basically be in color, you know.
Yeah. I think I did see it got moved back to November a little bit, but
Oh no,
I still can't wait. It's pre-ordered, so
yeah, there you go.
all right. So we get a little glimpse of the Jaguar here. And then they continue talking, just like, you know, of course he thinks he's gonna poison him as he gives him some of this thing, and he's like, I can smell that gun, dickhead. And he's like, okay, now, just enjoy your pomegranate wine.
One of many great floating glasses in Grendel.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, it's in the other scene too.
One of many great floating glasses. Agreed.
So he wants him to find. He wants Hitchcock Blue and the Hitchcocks to find the Man Machine Grendel Prime, and he discloses
before
that,
the Session Twins.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know why these people think they control the Man Machine Grendel Prime. That's insane.
No.
But they always think that they can figure it out. But that's crazy. And then he's like, "Oh, the Sessions are involved. We're out. No thanks.
No, thank you."
Cool.
Well, but then actually, he doesn't take it, or he does. I feel like he does take it on. The Sessions. He's more desperate than we thought.
I think he just decides to do it for the money. But I'll spoil a little bit that when he shows up later on, he says, I've been on this quest. He's on the quest for the right reasons. Like it appeals to his sense of Grendel. Yeah. The same way that Susan did. And that he's like, even though like the contract's over and like I've paid this great price, I'm still doing it. And then he gives up at the very end, and that's when the Paladin comes back. He leaves, and then
and that's when he shows up. Well, but right now he's kind of like doesn't know if he's going to agree. He's kind of like getting annoyed with the constant questions.
He says you've piqued my interest. He has to admit you piqued my interest. But I can't commit without talking to my brothers first.
Oh yeah,
and that's when the whatever this is, the Jaguar, the leopard, attacks him, and this middle tier, with the fight between Hitchcock Blue and of Wiatek's face watching the fight go on and the colors changing, this page is the reason why this should be everyone's first comic.
Yeah. First Grendel comic.
First comic
ever.
Yeah,
it's so great. It's so well done.
Yeah. It says a lot about the form and the craft in this one page.
Yeah. And like the green outlines on the character there, and like the next panel where he says cute, and oh my god. And then at the end he's like, just order us a new Jaguar then, huh? So insane. No more tricks, huh? He's like, I wouldn't have it any other way. And he's like, fuck you.
In the end, to Wiatek Jones, it was a little amusement. And he says, send my regards to Martin Rakeshaw's widow. So he's
already dispatching.
Often people left and right. What a Grendel. What a Grendel. What a power fuck. Well, Eli, that was our first mini ep.
Exactly.
Of Devil Quest.
First mini ep.
Yeah.
All right.
We learned a lot, but not too much.
Not too much. And we'll come back next week with Glistening. All right. Until next time, Vivat Grendel. And keep on Grendeling.
Terrific.